Dear mothers, today we embark on a spiritual journey, one that touches the deepest parts of your heart, a journey filled with protection, love, and hope for your children. In a world full of challenges, your concerns about their health and well-being are completely natural. Perhaps you wonder, how can I truly protect my children? What more can I do to ensure they are safe from illness, anxiety, and all the dangers that may lie ahead? How can I help them grow healthy, balanced, and prepared for a future full of success? I confess that often, our worries as mothers turn into burdens we carry with us, even when everything seems to be going well. When we think about our children, we feel the need to protect them, to teach them strength, but also acknowledge that they too are vulnerable at times. How can we help them remain healthy, both physically and emotionally? Perhaps you wonder what more you can do to support their growth and keep them safe in a world that feels so uncertain. Every time you feel fear or concern creeping into your heart, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are not alone. There is divine support you can call upon, and it is here to bring you peace and protection. What if I told you that there is a simple and profound way to address these concerns? A way to invoke divine protection and feel deeply reassured. A prayer that can make all the difference in your life and in the life of your children. How would it feel to know in every moment that their lives are blessed, protected, and full of light? What would it mean for you to know that you no longer need to fear, that you have found the key to providing a life full of balance, health, and success for them? In this video, we will explore a prayer that can bring that sense of peace into your life and into the lives of your loved ones. Before we begin this journey, I invite you to take a moment to connect with this message. If you feel that this protection would be beneficial for you and your children, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay with us until the end, because what you will discover can change everything in your life and for those you love. At this point in our journey, let's pause and reflect on something very close to your heart. The constant, sometimes overwhelming, concern you carry for your children's health and well-being. As mothers, we know that this concern is never truly at rest. It lingers, even in moments when everything seems fine. There's always that question in the back of our minds. Are they truly safe? Are they protected? Are they going to grow into healthy, balanced individuals who can face the challenges of the world? These questions are not just fleeting thoughts. They're deeply rooted fears that we, as mothers, often carry with us throughout the day. We all face different challenges when it comes to our children's well-being. Whether it's worrying about their physical health, their mental and emotional balance, or the overwhelming pressures they may face growing up, we find ourselves constantly wondering if we're doing enough. The world can be a scary place, and sometimes, as mothers, it feels like it's our job to shield our children from every harm, both visible and invisible. We try our best, but it's easy to feel like there's always more we could do, more that could be done to ensure that they're well protected. However, it's important to realize that while our protective instincts are incredibly valuable, there are moments when we need to remember that we don't have to do everything on our own. We are not alone in this journey. There is a higher force, a divine presence, that can guide and protect our children far beyond what we can achieve with our own efforts. This divine support is always available, and the more we open our hearts to it, the more we experience peace and comfort, knowing that our children are under the care of something much greater than ourselves. It's in these moments of vulnerability, when we feel overwhelmed by our desire to protect, that we need to pause and breathe. We need to remember that there is a divine presence ready and willing to shield our children from harm. The prayer we're about to share is one of those powerful divine tools that can bring a profound sense of peace and assurance. Through prayer, we invite the presence of Saint Michael, the Archangel, to become our protector. This prayer is a spiritual shield, a force of light that surrounds our children and ourselves, guarding us from illness, negative influences, and emotional disturbances that might disrupt our peace. Saint Michael is known for his strength and courage, and when we invoke his name, we are asking for his protection not only for the physical health of our children, but also for their mental and emotional well-being. It's essential to understand that, just as we protect our children physically, we must also protect them spiritually and emotionally. The world can sometimes feel like a heavy place, with challenges and difficulties that can weigh on their hearts and minds. The divine protection we are calling upon today is not just about physical safety. It's about helping our children stay balanced, emotionally resilient, and spiritually strong, no matter what life throws at them. Take a moment to think about the last time you felt truly worried about your children, whether it was because of a physical ailment, a difficult situation at school, or just the general uncertainties of life. How did that feel? How heavy was that weight on your heart? Now, imagine being able to release that weight, knowing that you have a divine protector watching over them. Imagine feeling the peace of knowing that, no matter what happens, you have a spiritual guardian who is looking out for your children, guiding them through life's challenges with strength and grace. This is the promise of divine protection. It's not just a passive wish. It's an active force that works on your behalf and the behalf of your children. Through prayer, we align ourselves with this divine energy, opening ourselves to the guidance, protection, and love that flows from a higher source. And as we do this, we invite peace and comfort into our hearts, knowing that everything is being taken care of in ways we may not fully understand, but can trust completely. Perhaps you've experienced moments where everything seemed to fall into place, where despite the difficulties, everything worked out in the end. Those moments are often the result of divine guidance and protection, even if we didn't fully recognize it at the time. When we pray and call upon divine protection, we invite more of these moments into our lives. We invite the peace and assurance that no matter what happens, we are never alone, and neither are our children. This is where the power of prayer becomes so deeply transformative. It isn't just about asking for something. It's about acknowledging a deeper spiritual connection. By praying for our children, we align ourselves with divine will and allow ourselves to feel the peace that comes from knowing that we are supported, loved, and protected by forces far greater than we can comprehend. I invite you to think about how you can incorporate this practice of divine protection into your daily life. You don't need to wait for a crisis to call upon Saint Michael's protection. Make this prayer a regular part of your day, whether it's in the morning, before, bed, or whenever you feel the need for a spiritual boost. With every prayer, you are strengthening the divine shield around your family, ensuring that they are safeguarded from harm and guided with wisdom and love. If you feel that this prayer resonates with you, that it brings comfort and peace, then I encourage you to comment below. Share your thoughts, your experiences, and your personal reflections on the power of prayer and divine protection. Your words may serve as a light to others who are seeking the same peace and comfort. Remember, as you speak these words of protection, you are not only speaking them for yourself, but also for your children and everyone in your life who you wish to bless with the light of divine protection. And if you found strength and comfort in these words, I invite you to share them with others. You never know who might need to hear them, and your act of sharing could be the start of a wave of healing and protection in someone else's life. As we continue on this journey, I encourage you to hold on to the knowledge that you are not alone. There is divine help available to you at all times, and by connecting with it through prayer, you strengthen your ability to protect and guide your children in the most loving and supportive way possible. Trust that with this divine support, your children will be safe, healthy, and able to face the world with confidence and grace. Now, let us take a moment together to pray for the protection and well-being of our children. As we continue on this spiritual journey together, it's important to understand the profound impact prayer can have, not only on our minds and hearts, but also on our lives and the lives of those we love. Prayer is not just a request to a higher power, It's a deeply transformative practice that brings us closer to the divine. It is a way for us to communicate with God and ask for His help in areas where we feel we need support and guidance. When we pray for our children, we are acknowledging that their well-being is in His hands, and we are trusting that His protection will be a constant presence in their lives. Prayer is a powerful tool for transformation. It creates a spiritual shield that can protect our children from harm, whether it is physical illness, negative emotions, or external pressures. By invoking the name of Saint Michael the Archangel, we invite his presence to surround our children, guarding them from the dangers that may lie ahead. Saint Michael, known as the protector of all that is good and pure, is a divine guardian whose strength is beyond our comprehension. By praying to him, we ask that he watch over our loved ones and keep them safe from the negative influences and energies that surround them. But the power of prayer goes beyond simple protection. Prayer allows us to create a spiritual connection with our children that transcends time and space. When we pray for them, we are not only asking for protection, we are also asking for guidance, clarity, and strength. We are inviting divine wisdom to enter their hearts and minds, so they may grow up with a sense of purpose, resilience, and love. In a world filled with uncertainty and challenges, this spiritual connection becomes an anchor that can help our children stay grounded, no matter the storms they may face. It's easy to feel as though we are carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders as mothers. We are constantly worried about our children's future, their health, their happiness, and their well-being. And while our instincts to protect and care for them are vital, we also need to recognize that we don't have to carry that weight alone. The power of prayer allows us to hand over our concerns and fears to a higher power, trusting that God and His angels are working on our behalf. Through prayer, we are acknowledging that we are not in control of everything, but that we can trust in the divine plan that is unfolding for us and our children. Think for a moment about how it would feel to release all of those worries. Imagine being able to let go of the anxiety and fear, knowing that your children are being cared for by the most powerful, loving force in the universe. This is what prayer can offer, a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing that everything is in divine order. As you pray, you are not just asking for protection for your children, you are also reaffirming your faith in the divine plan, in the love and care that surrounds you. When we pray, we are actively participating in the divine flow of energy that surrounds us. We are opening ourselves up to receive the blessings and protection that are already available to us, but that we may not always be aware of. By practicing prayer regularly, we begin to cultivate a deeper sense of trust in God's plan for our lives and the lives of our children. We start to understand that, even in the face of difficulties, we are supported and protected by a loving divine presence. The transformation that prayer brings is not just external, it is internal as well. Prayer helps us shift our focus away from fear and worry and towards trust and faith. It teaches us to release control and surrender our concerns to the divine, knowing that God's timing and wisdom are far greater than our own. As we begin to trust in this divine guidance, we experience a deep sense of peace and calm that allows us to face the challenges of life with greater strength and resilience. When we pray for our children, we are not only seeking protection for them, but we are also inviting them into the presence of divine love and light. By praying for their well-being, we are sending out a message of hope and love that will surround them and guide them throughout their lives. This prayer becomes a constant reminder that they are never alone, that they are always held in the loving embrace of the divine. Imagine, if you will, the power of prayer extending beyond the moments when you speak the words. Imagine that every time you pray for your children, you are sending out a powerful, protective force that surrounds them in love and light. This prayer, when repeated daily, becomes a protective shield that grows stronger with each invocation. It becomes a part of the spiritual foundation upon which your children will build their lives, giving them the strength to face whatever comes their way. As you continue to pray for your children, you may notice subtle changes in their lives. Perhaps they become more confident, more resilient, or more compassionate. These changes are a reflection of the divine energy that is working within them, guiding them towards their highest good. You may also notice changes in yourself. As you pray and surrender your worries to God, you may feel more peaceful, more centered, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever challenges arise. Prayer has the power to transform not only the lives of our children, but our own lives as well. It teaches us to trust in the unseen, to believe in the divine wisdom that guides us, and to surrender our fears to a higher power. When we open ourselves to the power of prayer, we open ourselves to the endless possibilities that exist in the divine plan. And as we trust in this plan, we become more attuned to the guidance that is available to us, allowing us to make better decisions, act with more wisdom, and move through life with greater peace and confidence. If you've made it this far, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on the role prayer has played in your life. How has prayer helped you through difficult times? How has it helped you feel more connected to the divine and to the protection that surrounds you? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections and experiences may inspire others who are looking for comfort, peace, and strength in their own lives. If you found comfort in these words, I encourage you to continue on this journey of prayer. Make it a regular part of your day, and watch as the transformation unfolds in your life and the lives of your children. With each prayer, you are sending out a wave of love, light, and protection that will continue to guide and support you in the days to come. As we close this section, remember that prayer is a gift you give to yourself and to your family. It is a tool that empowers you to face life's challenges with greater strength, peace, and faith. So, let us continue to pray, knowing that our prayers are always heard, always answered, and always a source of divine protection for those we love. As we continue to reflect on the power of prayer and the protection it brings, it's important to delve deeper into the significance of invoking Saint Michael the Archangel, one of the most powerful and revered protectors in the spiritual realm. Saint Michael's role is not just as a warrior who defends against evil, but as a guiding force that protects and shields us from the dangers and challenges of life. When we call upon Saint Michael, we are invoking a force of divine protection that extends far beyond what we can comprehend. Saint Michael is known for his strength and courage. He is the archangel who led the heavenly army against the forces of darkness, and as such, his presence in our lives serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how difficult the challenges we face may seem, we are never alone. His protection is not just a form of physical safeguarding. It is a spiritual armor that shields us from negative influences, harmful energies, and spiritual attacks that can weaken us. When we invite Saint Michael into our lives through prayer, we are asking for more than just protection. We are asking for divine strength, courage, and wisdom to navigate the complexities of life. Imagine for a moment that you are surrounded by a radiant light, a divine force that shields you and your family from harm. This light represents the powerful protection of Saint Michael, who stands as a guardian over your children, watching over them with unwavering care. The strength of this protection is not just an abstract concept. It is a tangible force that acts on behalf of your family, ensuring their safety and well-being. The beauty of invoking Saint Michael's protection is that it transcends the physical realm. His protection is felt not only in times of crisis, but also in the quiet moments of everyday life. Whether your children are at school, playing with friends, or facing personal challenges, you can rest assured that Saint Michael's presence is there, offering guidance, strength, and protection. His protection reaches into every area of their lives, shielding them from negativity, anxiety, and any force that could interfere with their well-being. But Saint Michael's role as a protector goes beyond just safeguarding our physical bodies. He is also a guardian of the heart and soul. When we pray for the protection of our children, we are also praying for their emotional and spiritual well-being. Saint Michael not only shields them from external dangers, but also helps to fortify their inner strength, encouraging them to face challenges with confidence and grace. He helps them develop resilience, allowing them to bounce back from difficult situations with a sense of purpose and inner peace. This is where the power of prayer truly becomes transformative. When you pray for your children's protection through Saint Michael, you are not just asking for their safety, you are asking for their spiritual growth and strength. You are requesting that Saint Michael guide them toward making wise decisions, protecting them from harmful influences, and empowering them to grow into individuals who are emotionally, mentally, and spiritually strong. The protection he offers is holistic, addressing the whole being, not just the body, but the mind, heart, and soul. As mothers, we often feel the weight of responsibility for our children's well-being, and it can be overwhelming at times. We worry about their health, their safety, and their future. We want to shield them from pain, failure, and heartbreak. But the beauty of invoking Saint Michael's protection is that we are acknowledging that we do not have to bear this responsibility alone. Divine protection is available to us, and through prayer, we can call upon it at any moment, trusting that Saint Michael is always there to shield our children from harm. The more we pray for this divine protection, the stronger our connection to Saint Michael becomes. This connection is not a one-time act. It is an ongoing relationship of trust and faith. When we pray to Saint Michael, we are inviting him into our lives as a constant companion, ready to step in whenever we need his help. We may not always be able to see the ways in which Saint Michael is working to protect us, but we can trust that his presence is always there, guiding and shielding us from harm. It's important to note that the protection Saint Michael offers is not just passive. It is an active force that works in our favor. When we invoke his protection, we are not only asking for him to shield our children from harm, but we are also opening ourselves up to divine guidance. Saint Michael helps us to see things clearly, to discern what is best for our children, and to make decisions that will lead them toward greater health, happiness, and success. Through his protection, we gain clarity and insight, allowing us to be better parents and caregivers. As we continue to pray for the protection of our children, it's helpful to reflect on how Saint Michael has already been present in our lives. Take a moment to think about times when you felt a sense of peace, comfort, or guidance during difficult situations. These moments are often the result of divine intervention, and Saint Michael may have been the one guiding and protecting you. When we look back on these moments, we realize that we are never truly alone. Divine protection surrounds us at all times, even in the most challenging of circumstances. The act of praying for divine protection for our children is not just about asking for something. It's about building a relationship with a powerful, loving protector who is always available to us. When we call upon Saint Michael, we are inviting his protection, guidance, and wisdom into our lives and the lives of our children. This connection brings peace and reassurance, knowing that our children are being cared for by a force much greater than ourselves. Now, I invite you to take a moment to visualize this divine protection. Close your eyes and imagine Saint Michael standing beside you, his powerful wings spread wide, creating a protective barrier around you and your children. Visualize this light surrounding your family, keeping them safe from harm and allowing them to move through life with courage, strength, and peace. Feel the comfort of knowing that they are never alone and that they are always being guided and protected by divine forces. As you visualize this protection, take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel the peace and comfort that comes with trusting in divine guidance. Remember, through prayer, you have the power to call upon this protection whenever you need it. And as you continue to pray for the protection of your children, you will strengthen your connection to Saint Michael, allowing his presence to guide and shield you every step of the way. In this moment, I encourage you to reflect on the role that Saint Michael plays in your life and in the lives of your children. If you've experienced moments of protection or guidance, take a moment to express your gratitude and offer thanks for his presence in your life. When we acknowledge the divine protection that is already at work in our lives, we open ourselves to even more blessings and guidance. As you continue on this journey, remember that Saint Michael is always with you, ready to offer his strength, protection, and wisdom. Keep praying, keep invoking his presence, and trust that your children are safe in his care. With Saint Michael by your side, you can face any challenge with confidence, knowing that you are surrounded by divine protection at all times. As we dive deeper into the powerful connection we can build through prayer and divine protection, it becomes clear that inviting the presence of Saint Michael into our daily lives is not just a one-time action, but a continuous and transformative practice. Each day, as we commit to prayer, we reinforce the spiritual shield around us and our loved ones, strengthening our ability to remain peaceful, grounded, and resilient in the face of life's challenges. The beauty of this practice is that it becomes part of our routine, offering us a source of constant support and comfort. When we begin our day with prayer, especially one that invokes the protection of Saint Michael, we are consciously choosing to place ourselves under divine care. Each time we say those words, we are reinforcing our trust in a higher power, and we are inviting divine strength, protection, and wisdom to guide us through every moment. In a world full of uncertainties, starting our day in this way can provide an immense sense of peace, knowing that we are not walking through life alone. Think for a moment about how different your day might feel if you started it by consciously connecting with this divine protection. Imagine waking up in the morning, knowing that Saint Michael is already standing beside you, ready to shield you and your children from any harm. This simple act of prayer can transform the way we experience life's daily stresses. It shifts our focus from fear and worry to trust and faith. When we consciously place our concerns in the hands of a higher power, we can let go of the weight that we carry and instead walk forward with a sense of calm and confidence. But prayer for protection does not just need to be reserved for the start of the day. It is something we can return to throughout the day, especially when we feel anxious, worried, or overwhelmed. There are moments when life can feel chaotic, when we face difficulties that seem insurmountable, or when we're unsure of the path ahead. In those moments, we can pause, take a deep breath, and turn our attention to the divine. By invoking Saint Michael's protection, we allow ourselves to reconnect with a source of strength and peace, reminding ourselves that we are never alone. In times of difficulty, it's easy to feel as though we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. As mothers, we feel deeply responsible for the well-being of our children. We want to protect them from every challenge, every danger. However, it's important to remember that while our protective instincts are powerful, we do not have to bear the weight of that responsibility alone. Divine protection is always available, ready to provide support when we need it most. One of the greatest benefits of inviting divine protection into our daily lives is the peace it brings. The more we practice prayer, the more we allow ourselves to trust in this protection, the more we experience a profound sense of calm. In times of uncertainty, instead of spiraling into worry and fear, we can call upon Saint Michael to provide the clarity and guidance we need. Prayer acts as a constant reminder that, even when we don't have all the answers, we are still being guided and supported. Imagine yourself in a difficult situation, whether it's worrying about your child's health, feeling anxious about a major decision, or simply struggling with the everyday stresses of life. Now, imagine that instead of letting these worries consume you, you take a deep breath, and in that moment, you turn your attention to the divine. You close your eyes and say a prayer, invoking the protection of Saint Michael. Feel the weight of your concerns lift as you trust that divine guidance and protection are with you. This is the power of prayer. It gives you the strength to face challenges with a sense of peace and assurance that comes from knowing that you are not alone. When we consistently practice this kind of prayer, it begins to shift our perspective on life. Instead of approaching each day with fear or anxiety about what might happen, we begin to trust that no matter what challenges arise, we will have the strength to face them. This shift in perspective is one of the most profound changes that comes from embracing divine protection. The peace and strength that come from knowing that we are always being supported by divine forces. The key to making this a lasting practice is consistency. Just as we would not neglect our physical health, we should not neglect our spiritual health. Prayer is the nourishment our souls need to stay strong and grounded. By making prayer for protection a regular part of our daily routine, we create a strong spiritual foundation that will carry us through the ups and downs of life. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about having the strength and support to face them with grace and confidence. As you continue to make prayer a part of your daily life, you will begin to notice subtle changes in yourself. Perhaps you'll find that you're more patient with your children, more calm in the face of stress, or more confident in your ability to handle life's challenges. These changes are a reflection of the spiritual growth that comes from consistently inviting divine protection and guidance into your life. The more you practice, the stronger your connection to divine support will become. Another beautiful aspect of prayer is that it's not just about seeking protection for yourself and your family, it's also a way to express gratitude. When we pray for divine protection, we are acknowledging the blessings we have in our lives. We are recognizing that we are already being supported by divine forces, even in times of difficulty. Gratitude amplifies the effects of prayer, helping us to maintain a positive and hopeful mindset, even in challenging situations. By expressing gratitude through prayer, we invite more blessings into our lives, and we open ourselves to receive even more divine guidance and protection. In this moment, I encourage you to take a few minutes to reflect on the ways prayer has impacted your life. Think about how your connection to divine protection has influenced your ability to handle difficult situations, or how it has brought you peace in times of stress. Take a deep breath and feel the sense of gratitude in your heart for the protection and guidance that have been with you all along. If you've experienced the benefits of divine protection and prayer in your life, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might serve as an inspiration to someone else who is seeking peace, comfort, and strength. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to this channel for more spiritual messages and guidance that can help you stay connected to divine protection and peace. As we conclude this part of our journey, remember that prayer is a powerful tool that we can use at any time, in any situation. Whether it's in the morning when we wake up, in moments of uncertainty, or as we go to bed, we always have the ability to call upon divine protection. Through this daily practice, we can create a life that is grounded in trust, peace, and strength, knowing that we are always surrounded by divine support. May your journey be filled with peace, love, and the unwavering protection of Saint Michael and the divine forces that are always with you. Keep praying, keep trusting, and know that with each prayer, you are building a stronger, more resilient connection to the divine, allowing your children and your family to thrive in peace and protection. As we conclude this spiritual journey, it is important to reflect on the peace and strength that comes from knowing we are always surrounded by divine protection. Through prayer, we invite that protection into our lives and the lives of our loved ones. We are not walking this path alone, and when we invoke the help of Saint Michael, we are asking for more than just physical protection. We are seeking spiritual support, guidance, and the inner strength to face whatever life may bring. The power of prayer is not just in the words we speak. It is in the faith and trust we place in those words, and the trust we place in the divine forces that are always working on our behalf. This practice of prayer for protection should not be seen as something that is done only in times of crisis or fear, but as an ongoing part of our daily lives. By making prayer a regular part of our routine, we are inviting divine energy to be a constant companion, providing us with the strength, peace, and clarity we need to navigate the complexities of life. And this practice of daily prayer is something that can change our perspective on everything. Whether it's our relationship with our children, our ability to cope with challenges, or our understanding of how divine protection works in our lives. Each time you pray, you are reinforcing your connection to the divine, reminding yourself that you are not alone, and that your children are under the loving protection of Saint Michael and the divine forces that guide us all. With each prayer, you are placing your trust in the divine plan, knowing that no matter what challenges arise, you and your family are being taken care of. This trust is not just a passive feeling. It is a deeply active practice that empowers us to face life with confidence, courage, and peace. Now, imagine how different your life could be if you continued to make this practice of prayer a daily part of your routine. Picture yourself waking up every morning, beginning your day with a moment of connection to the divine, inviting Saint Michael's protection to shield your children, your home, and your entire family. Visualize the peace and calm that would fill your heart, knowing that you are taking proactive steps to protect those you love, and that divine guidance is always there, ready to lead you through every moment of your day. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require perfection or complicated rituals. It's simply about showing up with a heart full of trust, faith, and love. Whether you pray for 5 minutes each morning, before you go to bed, or whenever you feel the need, you are inviting divine protection and support into your life. With each prayer, you are cultivating a sense of inner peace and resilience that will carry you through even the most difficult situations. You might wonder how often you should pray or what specific words to use. The truth is that prayer is deeply personal, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. It is about opening your heart to divine love and protection, speaking your truth, and trusting that the divine will respond. Whether you choose to pray the traditional prayer to Saint Michael or create your own personal prayer of protection, what matters most is that you approach it with sincerity, faith, and the intention of seeking divine support for your family. The more you practice this daily connection, the more you will begin to feel the effects in your life. You will notice a shift in your mindset, a greater sense of calm, peace, and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. You will begin to trust that no matter what happens, you and your children are safe, protected, and loved. This practice will not only protect your children physically, but will also fortify their hearts and minds, giving them the emotional resilience they need to face life's challenges with courage and grace. As you continue on this journey of prayer and divine protection, I invite you to share your experiences and reflections in the comments below. Has prayer for your children's protection brought you peace? Have you noticed any changes in your life since you began praying regularly? Sharing your story can help inspire others who may be struggling or looking for comfort. Your experience might offer encouragement to someone else who needs to hear it. We are all part of a larger community, and when we come together in faith and trust, we create a powerful energy that can uplift and support one another. If you found comfort, peace, and strength in this video, I encourage you to continue watching our other videos. We are committed to bringing you messages of hope, protection, and divine guidance that can help you strengthen your spiritual practice and live a life of peace and trust. Each video offers a unique perspective on the power of prayer and divine protection, and we are here to support you on this spiritual journey. Please take a moment to like this video, as your support helps us reach more people who may benefit from these messages. When you like and share this video, you help spread the word about the importance of prayer and divine protection. It's a simple but powerful way to make a difference in someone else's life. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video. Subscribing is an easy way to stay connected with the messages that can support you on your journey of faith and protection. And don't forget to click the bell icon to activate notifications, so you're always the first to know when we release a new video. By subscribing and activating notifications, you are ensuring that you continue to receive the support and guidance you need. As we close this video, I want to thank you for taking the time to be a part of this spiritual journey. You are not alone in this path, and the divine forces are always with you, ready to offer their support and protection. Trust in the power of prayer. Trust in the divine guidance that is always available to you, and know that Saint Michael is watching over you and your children every step of the way. May your heart be filled with peace, your family with protection, and your life with the divine strength and courage you need to move forward with confidence and trust. Keep praying, keep believing, and know that you are always supported by divine love and protection. Remember, you are not just a passive observer of life. You are an active participant, and through prayer, you are inviting the divine to walk beside you every step of the way. Take comfort in that and continue to walk forward with faith, trust, and the strength of divine protection.